Kentucky bluegrass, or as it is known by its botanical or Latin name, Poa pratensis, is the turfgrass species we'll be discussing in this presentation. Kentucky bluegrass is a common turfgrass found throughout the northern or cooler parts of the United States. The green area on this map shows where Kentucky bluegrass is adapted. For a cool season turfgrass, it has excellent cold tolerance and good heat tolerance. Kentucky bluegrass is native to Eurasia and globally known by many common names, including June grass and smooth-stalk meadowgrass. Kentucky bluegrass can be found on golf course fairways, tees, and roughs. On fairways and roughs, the presence or absence of supplemental irrigation influences the mowing height and the level of fertility, primarily nitrogen. Kentucky bluegrass, when exposed to extended periods of moisture stress or drought, will cease growing and go dormant and lose much of its green color, which is shown here. This is a golf course that does not have supplemental irrigation in the fairways or rough. Once rainfall arrives, Kentucky bluegrass breaks dormancy and will begin growing and producing new shoots. This table summarizes the mowing heights and nitrogen fertility level requirements for Kentucky bluegrass tees, fairways, and roughs. As you can see, the fairways are subdivided into two different maintenance levels based on whether the turf is irrigated or not irrigated. From a management perspective, on irrigated Kentucky bluegrass fairways, mowing heights are slightly lower and fertilization levels slightly higher compared to non-irrigated fairways. At the lower range of mowing heights, normally below 1 inch, annual bluegrass, or Poa annua, which will be discussed in a separate presentation, can become extremely competitive in irrigated Kentucky bluegrass turf. In a non-irrigated Kentucky bluegrass turf, mowing heights are slightly higher. In roughs, Kentucky bluegrass is mowed at 1.25 inches or higher and normally fertilized with 1 to 2 pounds of actual nitrogen per 1,000 square feet, with this rate being split into 2 applications applied in spring and fall. Tees, greens, and fairways in general are often cut with reel mowers, which is shown here. Usually reel mowers are used when the turf is mowed at 1 inch or less. In the case of Kentucky bluegrass fairways and tees, a reel mower would be used. Reel mowers will be covered more in the mowing module, but is basically a number of blades that turn on a cylinder cutting the turf. At mowing heights greater than 1 inch, you can use a reel mower, but more often you'll use a rotary mower, which is shown here. A rotary mower is commonly used to mow home lawns. The mower consists of a single rotating blade. At this point, I want to introduce the term cultivar. Cultivars are a subset of the turfgrass species, for example, Kentucky bluegrass. A cultivar may have a name like touchdown that has certain distinguishing characteristics that differentiate it from other cultivars. For example, touchdown Kentucky bluegrass can tolerate low mowing heights and is more aggressive than other cultivars of Kentucky bluegrass. There are over 150 cultivars of Kentucky bluegrass, but we traditionally break them down into 2 types: common, which is more like the old forage type of Kentucky bluegrass, and the improved ones that are used on better quality turf like golf courses. In the broadest terms, this table summarizes the differences between common types and improved types of Kentucky bluegrass cultivars. Common types are susceptible to a disease called melting out, while improved types are resistant. Melting out is a springtime disease that occurs obviously on Kentucky bluegrass. The other difference too is the commons have a more open growth habit, while improved types are more compacted and dense. This photograph shows the differences in growth habit between common and the improved types of Kentucky Bluegrass cultivars. Code 95 to the left is a common type Kentucky Bluegrass. The 4 cultivars to the right of it are improved types. This concludes this brief overview of Kentucky Bluegrass.